Peace TV English, the solution for humanity.
نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to another episode of the series Marriage and Divorce. With me is Sheikh Haytham Al-Haddad from the UK, who is currently working on the Sharia Council of Britain and is also the founder of the website www.islam21c.com. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I want to get onto the topic, or continue rather, talking about the topic of actually finding a spouse. And how do we go about this these days, as Muslims especially?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. I think this topic is vast. Why? Because we are talking to brothers and sisters from different backgrounds, from different cultures, from different even political setup, and so on. And finding a spouse might vary from one culture to another culture, from one situation to another situation. Let us try to cover as much as we can. There are a number of issues that we need to cover. First of all, what do we mean by finding a spouse? Is it the man finding a woman or the woman finding a man? Okay? Or the wali finding a woman? What does it mean? How it works? What is the dynamic of it? What is the social impact of it? Okay? And so on. Because, you know, in this series we are discussing the Islamic issues but contextualizing the Islamic discussion. Because if we isolate the Islamic discussion from the context, then it will be an abstracted discussion and people might not really be able to contextualize it themselves.
And as we know, the Islamic way of doing things is the right way of doing things.
It's the right way of doing things and it is the practical way. So in order to make it practical, we need to contextualize it and make it relevant to people. See, the ideal situation for finding a spouse is that the man and his family, so the family of the man side, will look for a potential spouse for their son or for their brother or whatever. Okay? So this is the ideal scenario. Why did we say that it is the ideal scenario? Why did we say that it is the ideal scenario? Because if we look at the life of the Prophet ﷺ, the life of the companions, we see that the norm is that the men were looking for women. Okay? And not only that, from a Sharia perspective, the man is the one who proposes to the wali. So the man, he's asking to be married. And in the books of fiqh, they use the word يخطبها. يخطبها. يخطبها means the man is proposing to the wife. They rarely used the word تخطبه.
Which means she's doing the proposal.
She is doing the proposal. Okay? So this is the norm. Some people might say this is the cultural norm. No, this is the Islamic norm. However, there might be some exceptions whereby the female will look for a potential husband. This can happen. However, even with this exception, when the female looks for a potential husband, the khitbah, the proposal, the official proposal, should not come from her to him. Should come from him to her or to her wali.
I see.
Okay?
I see.
Again, to stress on this point or to clarify more. Because if the wife or if the female is proposing to the male, then she's proposing to him directly. What about her wali?
He needs to be involved.
He needs to be involved. So it means that the female will go to her wali and the wali will speak to that man. And normally men wouldn't like to offer their daughters. Yeah?
Yes.
They wouldn't like to do this. Now, if certain cultures do this, yeah, maybe it can be acceptable. But is it the norm all over the world? I don't think so. Okay? However, it might be acceptable that the female, she will look for a potential husband. If she finds a suitable one, she doesn't go directly to him. She will go to her wali, and the wali will approach that person. Or the wali himself, the father, and we will discuss the issue of wali, he will look for a potential husband for his daughter.
One quick question I had, as we have only recently finished the discussion about virginity, does it differ between a virgin woman and a non-virgin
No.
woman? It doesn't.
No. It is true that the non-virgin women in general, they are more vocal, and the level of shyness is not as it is with virgin women. Okay? It is true. And they might have the ability or the courage.
Perhaps more experience to make a better decision.
Yeah, okay. And we will discuss the issue of wali, inshallah, in the near future. So, this is the general description of the proposal. Now, we said that the man or the wali can search or can even propose or can offer his daughter. There is the famous story of Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. We mentioned it in one of the episodes, where husband of Hafsa radiyallahu ta'ala anha, Hafsa is his daughter. When he died, he wanted to find a spouse for Hafsa. So he went first of all to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, his closest friend. So Abu Bakr as-Siddiq showed no interest. Then Umar ibn al-Khattab went to Uthman. So Uthman radiyallahu ta'ala anhu showed no interest. Then the Prophet ﷺ was involved. Then the Prophet ﷺ said that your daughter will be married to a person who is better than Uthman. And Uthman will be married to a person who is better than your daughter. Who is better than Uthman? Of course, no one, because we have Umar and we have Abu Bakr. Umar is the father, obviously. And Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala anhu showed no interest. Okay? So who is better than Abu Bakr? The only one is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Similarly, who is better than Hafsa radiallahu ta'ala anha to be married to Uthman? Is the daughter of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam married Uthman to his daughter. So now, in this case, Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, Umar ibn al-Khattab, he is the one who offered his daughter to Abu Bakr, to Uthman, may Allah be pleased with them, and then after that, the Prophet ﷺ got married to her. So that can happen. And in some cultures, they say that look for a potential spouse for your daughter before you look for a potential spouse for your son. Why? Because your daughter is more important. What do we mean by more important? It is more important to find a suitable husband for your daughter than a suitable wife for your son. You should be worried about the future husband of your daughter. Obviously, because he can give her a nightmare. Yeah? He can make her life difficult. He can make your life as a father difficult.
And you are the wali.
And you are the
So
wali.
you have
are
a
the one who-
responsibility.
Yes, the sole responsibility. Okay? Because at the end of the day, your son might choose by himself,
Exactly.
with your consent or without your consent. But for your daughter, she cannot marry a person without your consent as a wali. From the other perspective, because your son can divorce his wife anytime if he doesn't like her, but your daughter cannot divorce her husband anytime if she finds that he is not a suitable person. So they say, be worried about your daughter, look for a potential spouse, a suitable potential spouse for her. As we said, this is acceptable provided that it follows the Sharia guidelines. Now, as we said, that the norm is that the family of the man, they go and look. Now, what does that mean? It means that the Islamic setup, the Islamic social setup of the society, of the families, helps the person to find a potential spouse. Because the families are commanded to preserve the ties of kinship and maintain the ties of kinship. Obviously, this means that the families will know the members of other families. Yeah, my uncles will know about their nephews, their nieces, and so on. I will know about my nieces, my nephews, etc.
Should be a large network.
So it is a large network. Yeah, through that network, we can find a spouse for the children.
We'll be back soon, inshallah, after the break to continue to discuss the issue of finding a spouse and how we should actually go about it practically. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
زواج مبارك.
Dialogue. Discussion. Debate. Rebuttal. Conclusion.
Eliminate misconceptions about religion. Get enlightened.
Witness Dr. Zakir Naik in a battle of words in Crossfire every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 12:30 p.m. UK on Peace TV. Thursdays provide
In Britain, we are facing one big problem, that are you Muslim or British?
the space to talk.
In India, back home, they ask, are you a Muslim first or Indian first? And we Muslims should know how to reply, how to turn the tables over.
The place to knock.
Why Trinity cannot be regarded in that sense, Father, Son and Holy Spirit?
The opportunity to ask.
But even if we agree that what the Christians say, that he was crucified, so if Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, died for 3 days, who controlled the world? That means even God died?
The freedom to unmask.
So there are various ways which we can prove the argument to be wrong.
Let's meet Dr. Zakir every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 9:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV.
زواج مبارك.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. We should get straight back into the discussion, Sheikh. We don't want to lose the fluidity of it.
Yes.
Finding a spouse. We want to discuss the situation in society now. You were just mentioning before the break how the social network is not there from an Islamic point of view.
Yeah, okay. But see, we need to stress on the importance of the social network. We need to stress on that. We don't want to ignore it. Because, see, some societies, they still have these social networks. In many Muslim countries, these social networks are there. So utilize them.
So this is looking at the root causes of the problem of why marriage is not as easy as it should be.
Yes, yes. Okay. Now, when we talk about using the Islamic social setup or the social network, we are talking about the family of the man going and searching for a potential wife for their son. As we said, it might be that the opposite might happen. That is acceptable. Now, if the opposite happens, then they need, the family that are looking for a potential husband for their daughter, they should understand what their daughter wants.
Yes. There should be that communication.
Yes. They should not just look and arrange the marriage
Or assume what she wants.
or assume what she wants, and she wants something else. Especially these days. You know, these days girls are mature. Girls talk about marriage. Girls talk about potential spouses. Girls talk about these issues. Yeah? So they are aware. They are not like maybe some cultures 20 years ago or something like this. So that has to be taken into consideration. Same thing Same thing to be said about the family that is looking for a potential wife for their son. I remember I had a case which was a very strange case. A brother, a young brother, he brought his family, his parents, to me in the Islamic Sharia Council to judge between them. I was surprised, what is the situation? The brother, he chose a sister. He came to know her through one of the online websites. And by the way, we need to discuss this.
Definitely.
Online searching. So he came to know her through an online website. It happened that one of his friends knew this sister. So that made him more adamant that she's a genuine lady.
Because he has a recommendation, sort of.
Okay, it's not a fake story or a fake personality. She was from another country, from the other part of the world, with different cultural background, different, you name it. When he went to his parents were shocked. And they said, we will never accept this person. Full stop. Tension started between both of them. And then one of them suggested that they come to the Sharia Council, to Sheikh Haytham al-Haddad, to give them a judgment. So the brother, to be honest with you, he came with the impression that I will give a ruling on his favor. Because he said, well, Sheikh Haytham al-Haddad knows about young people. He spends most of his time with young people. He understands cultural differences, etc. So he thought that I will side with him. When they came, it was obvious to me that the choice of this young man, he's 20 plus, nearly 30, he's an adult. It was wrong. And his parents were right. So I started to explain this to him. I explained it, and it was an eye-opener for the dynamic between a person and his parents with regards to marriage and proposal. Yeah? Because any case is a new case, it brings some new experience. Anyway, at the end, I suggested the following. I said, see, you need to look, and your parents need to look. One of his problems is that his parents are not supporting him in searching. And the parents denied this. They said, no, that is not true. We are looking for him, but we did not find a suitable person. He said, if a suitable person, according to which criteria? According to your criteria. But according to my criteria, it might not be a suitable person. They said to him, no, in fact, this is your problem, that you are choosing a person that we will not be satisfied with. So I told them, what is the solution? Sit together and put your, criteria or criteria. List the qualities that you want. And they classify the qualities into two different categories. One, the minimum requirement. In other words, you need to tell your son that, listen, for example, you are a Muslim. We don't want any non-Muslim girl. This is a red line. We will never accept this.
So this now needs to be a common...
Yes, and we have to agree on this. So now we have narrowed, that searching area, or the possibility of conflicts. Because the man now, the son, will not go and maybe find a non-Muslim girl, and he brings her to his parents, and then they will refuse. Similarly, I said to the parents, you need to listen to him. So what do you want? So he said, for example, I don't want a person who doesn't speak proper English. I said to him, is this a mandatory? He said, it is a mandatory. I said, okay, let us just tweak it a little bit. At least the person they are looking for should be able to communicate with you in English, not necessarily to have a perfect standard of English. So he accepted that. So I said, put that in your list. So there should be a mutual agreement. The point is, the man who is looking for a potential spouse, he should consult his parents from the beginning, and they should agree on the requirements.
The basic requirements.
The
that they have in
basic
common.
requirements and the other secondary requirements in order to minimize the possibility of conflicts. In many cases, the parents like a girl, and they push their son to get married to her. And the son might not be happy with her, especially young people these days. Vice versa, in many cases, the family might like a boy, and they arrange the marriage with the boy. And this is common in the subcontinent. Arrange marriage. And they push their daughter, and sometimes they coerce or they force their daughter to get married to this person. But this is likely. Let us not say that this will definitely lead to future problems, but this is likely is going to lead to
affect the relationship in the future.
Problems.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. If you don't start something with a good foundation, you can't expect the marriage to be 100% successful.
Yes.
Most likely.
Okay. Yeah.
Inshallah. Sheikh, I would like to talk about the point of how do the parents look? We mentioned through the social network, but at what stage and to what extent should the children be involved at this point?
Yeah, this is the part of the procedure, and it differs from one context to another context, or from one country to another country, background, culture, etc., etc. So just leave it open, okay? Islam did not dictate any kind of procedure. And we should understand that when Islam does not regulate any human activities, then Islam says just do it based on your cultures, and the framework, the general framework, the general Islamic framework should be observed. And that's it. Here, as you are discussing this, you know, after the death of Khadija, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ was by himself. At that time, he was in Mecca. Prophet ﷺ was in Mecca. So, Khawla, one of the Meccan ladies, and she is the wife of his friend Uthman ibn Mad'un, came to him, and she noticed that he is lonely and he has children. So she said, Ya Rasulullah, why don't you get married? So he said, who? She said, Ya Rasulullah, I have two choices for you. This is Khawla. Yeah? She said, one is the daughter of your friend. Who? Aisha. And what about the second choice? She said to him, Sauda. Sauda was previously married with children, and mature lady on her 40s or something like this. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha was very young. At that time, 6, 7 years of age. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to Khawla, well, women are better to deal with these issues. Go ahead. Yeah? Women are better to deal with these issues. Go ahead. So Khawla radiallahu ta'ala anha went to Sauda. And she said to her, listen, Sauda, you are a lonely woman. I have a very good man for you. Who is that man? He said, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Obviously, Sauda wouldn't refuse this. This is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Khawla went to Rawman. Who is Rawman? Rawman is the mother of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha. She said to her, Rawman, why don't you marry Aisha to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? She said, what are you talking about? She said, yes. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, his wife Khadija died. Rawman, by the way, Rawman, she never said that Aisha is too young. Her mother, the mother of Aisha, when Khawla proposed this marriage, the mother of Aisha never said that Aisha is too young. So when they say how the Prophet ﷺ got married to Aisha and she was a very young lady, when non-Muslims put this question, and some Muslims as well, they put this question. So then Rawman said, but Aisha is engaged, is already engaged, or another man proposed to her. you are telling me that we need to stop here? Or can we complete the story?
Inshallah, I think if we complete the story in the next episode, maybe that will also let people to come back.
Okay, no problem. Jazakallah.
Jazakumullah khair for watching this episode. Please join us again where we will continue this discussion and inshallah also pick another topic along the same lines of finding a spouse. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك There is joy, there is happiness in this union, let there always be bliss. Allah will bless your home with light, your heart with never-ending delight. Two worlds today have now become one. The road ahead is as bright as the sun. Oh Allah, keep this marriage so strong. In your hands does the future belong.
Where truth is hidden, misleading quotations create confusion. Where truth is hidden, lack of knowledge and wisdom cause upheaval and commotion. Where truth is hidden, manipulated scriptures and twisted facts emerge. This very hidden truth creates false propaganda, mayhem, chaos, disorder, and turmoil in our lives and the world order. But is there anyone with courage and wisdom? What is the truth, and who has the courage to expose it? Because it's your right to know the truth.
Watch truth prevail and lies perish in Truth Exposed by Dr. Zakir Naik every Sunday to Friday at 9 p.m. and repeat telecast at 7:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV. The value of money in the hereafter will be measured by its proper use in the present.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي يوم لا بيع فيه ولا خلة ولا شفاعة.
According to the glorious Quran, one of the best ways to use your money is to spend it in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by spreading His message of Islam. Peace TV is a non-profit Islamic satellite television channel that is primarily dedicated for just that cause, the proper presentation of Islam. It's a great choice to invest in it and a golden opportunity to purify your wealth in a way that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Support Peace TV. Send your zakat and donations to IRFI Al Ryan Bank, 47 Calthorpe Road, Birmingham, UK, B151TH. Pound account number 011-32301. IBAN GB49ARAY 30008301 132301. Sort code 300083. Swift BIC code ARAY GB22. Please confirm your contribution at support@peacetv.tv.
Support Peace TV, the solution for humanity.